Hello, hello. This is game 3 of Spleebie versus azder. Thanks for stopping by to watch this. This is going to be a really exciting race. I'm joined by Chex Human in the booth. How are you doing?
Good. Hi, Mama. I'm excited for game 3 of Spleebie versus azder, like you said. And this has been an amazing tournament week so far.
Yeah.
Monday, what day did we start the bracket stage? When was our first?
Monday, right? We hit the ground running on Monday. If not
Right.
Sunday? I think it was Monday. Because
Yeah,
Sunday
we
was when we
started
made the
scheduling.
brackets. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is also our first game 3 of the first week.
Yeah. I don't recall exactly, but yeah, we've had game 2s. We have matches in progress to be concluded this weekend. But yeah, this is a game 3.
That is correct. And the winner will go on to play Tam in the second week. Tam was the #1 seed of the qualifiers, so definitely a steep hill to climb once they get there. But these are both very strong runners with extensive experience in glitch modes, going back at least a couple years for Spleebie and more for azder.
Yeah, that's right. Going back in time, azder comes from a speedrunning background, and probably learned major glitches in this game, A Link to the Past, before Randomizer glitch modes. That's my guess. I could be speculating. Spleebie, on the other hand, started with Randomizer, and is recently learning A Link to the Past speedrunning, so a little bit more recently. But our focus here is, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say Spleebie has been one of our more active racers in the last year. So despite azder having, the depth of experience, Spleebie has had a lot of recent experience. So this could be a really close match between the two as we open up with Link's house, both of them going to Link's chest to get 3 bombs. And then they're going to immediately go to the Hylia Island because you can get that right now if you wanted to.
We have 3 crystals for each of the 3 light world dungeons. Spleebie unfortunately misses the first chest turn, but that's okay.
There will be many more to come. It's Spleebie.
Yep.
Now azder is going to... Oh, interesting. I thought Spleebie normally does hobo, but he's actually going to Sahasrahla as well. I wonder if that pendant information is important to them, given that they don't know any of their pendants for the light world.
Yeah, we'll find out. I love the sync all of a sudden. But it looks like we're not talking to Sahasrahla.
No, I guess not. And they're opening the chest in a different order, and not one chest turn from Spleebie. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, so one thing you can do in Sahasrahla's closet is to demonstrate all 3 chest turns all in a row.
Yeah, and then you can go to desert and demonstrate the dashing chest turn. So Spleebie is doing what I thought he was going to do earlier. He's just doing them in a different order. He's going to hit up the hobo using an out-of-bounds clip. That'll get him into the water. This is even arguably out of bounds, but it will get you to a fake flipper right onto the hobo screen. If you do it right, then you will transition immediately. If you do it wrong, you will soft lock. And he's rewarded with a sword. So hobo is one of those checks that you can put off pretty much indefinitely, and the longer you put it off, the harder it is to convince yourself that it's worth getting. Could come into play in this race.
So this is a hybrid major glitches race, and should I talk a little bit about hybrid major glitches?
Yeah, explain what this is all about.
So the starting point is overworld glitches, where we are allowed to go out of bounds, use out of bounds clips and screen wraps, and the item fill will put items behind walls where we normally wouldn't be able to access them. And hybrid, it means it has elements of major glitches where we can clip into the underworld. So there are only four points in the underworld, in other words, dungeons and caves, where clips may be required. So we may see some underworld clips. We normally do, and we may see it required as well.
Yeah, sometimes the Thieve will just throw pendants in Swamp and Mire and the dungeons where you use the clips, but you usually at least see one in Ice because it's faster. And sometimes you even see some extra ones that the logic doesn't care about, but will help with your routing a little bit. So, you got a bottle and bombs. That's a good starter pack for Kakariko. You can go and do most of the checks here without having to farm anything. Spleebie has a sword, though, and that might entice him up the mountain.
Yeah, we can think of the overworld as one large, sort of a sandbox in a way. You can go any direction you like to clear it out, essentially.
Yeah,
anything you can see in the overworld, you can get to.
And a good rule of thumb is that if it's next to each other on the tracker in the overworld, it's probably next to each other in real life too.
Right.
So like Agina's Cave and Cave 45 are right next to each other. And Spleebie is doing exactly what I had kind of expected. Having the sword makes the mountain a little bit more comfortable. Also gives him some valuable information about Tower of Hera and whether we will be required to go through Mire to get to the top. Or whether the sea will just give us a big key to climb.
Right, and Spleebie uses the new DMA, as it's called, the new Death Mountain Ascent. And Link just does a screen wrap and performs a couple of hops to get into the Old Man Cave.
You can see the difference the sword makes. Those dead rocks were giving him some really bad patterns, and he was able to deal with them handily using his sword.
Yeah, for sure.
On 3 hearts, that can be really rough. You can just die and have to do the Old Man again. Thankfully, you start at his rescue point and don't have to do the Death Mountain Ascent again.
Ooh, very nice start. Very well performed clip to get to King's Tomb. And go ahead.
King's Tomb is one of those that's also really easy to miss, and there's a bow there. So King's Tomb you usually do from a save and quit, and you get there by landing on the rock, and you're also on the bush, and the game doesn't know which one you're on, so you pick up the rock. But once you exit it, you're still behind rocks, and you can't leave. So the bow is another one that could be easily missed if you just don't route it in.
Yeah, that's an amazing start. Meanwhile, azder finds the lamp at Sick Kid. Kind of funny. There seemed to be nothing of interest in the Cack well or in Blindside. Nothing that I noticed. So very cool that Sick Kid came through.
Yeah, he had a light fever, if you will.
Oh, how about that? So azder sees the first sword, and there is an overworld glitch that we could use to take a shortcut to get that, but azder is just going through the race as usual.
Yeah,
15 seconds.
That 15, you think you can get there in time? It's not quite 0, but it should be enough. The clip is one of those you kind of just have to know how to do. It's not something you can really wing. There's a lot of weird inputs, and if you do them wrong, you can soft lock after getting the item. So if you're not 100% certain on the tech, and it's not absolutely required tech, you might as well just go for what you know, and that's probably going to save you time over fumbling.
And we have the magic cape on Desert Ledge. It's often, like we were talking about before, we're going to regions of the world that are near each other. So desert makes sense as next play for azder. And yeah, so I wonder if we will be defeating Landmolas here.
Yeah, we always say that, but people will often just put it off because the time investment in fighting Lambo on low equipment can make it not worth it if it's not an item.
For sure.
I think most runners will hope to find a mirror and be able to do this with Mire. Finding a mirror is not a given in this mode either. Even for a Swamp Palace, you can clear it without the mirror by essentially turning it inside out. You enter through the middle and you go out the front door, but the dam will already flooded and you will be able to walk back in and be in Swamp. But we'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah, it's a really neat kind of thing. I don't really know how to explain it, except it's really neat.
The best way to explain it is to just watch the runners do it.
Yeah. All right. So early Death Mountain is another common play, especially if we have a sword, like you said. And there's our second sword.
Speaking of swords, both runners are going to be untempered for most of the seed. These are,
Yeah.
unless azder misses the hobo sword, which is very much a real possibility. He
That's
at least
right.
will not be in sword bill mode, like we have seen a couple times this week.
And since we've seen 3 swords already, I guess there won't be another 3 swords in Gannon's tower.
No, there can only be one.
Yeah,
It's like
only
Highland.
one more to find.
All right, Spleebie is taking that bow straight to Eastern. Still on 3 hearts. This can be a little sketchy, lacking the lamp. Those Igors do a whole heart of damage no matter what meal you're on.
All right, azder's creating some patterns that I've never seen before.
I've never seen the blue either. That's
which is
funny.
really neat. So he just went over to the right to get to cave 45, to the right of desert.
Yeah, they're next to each other. And he's going to go back up using a teleport. So I don't explain teleports very often, but basically the game has collision detection and it tries to kick you out. And we can abuse that to make the game kick us out too far. We use that to get on top of these plateaus all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. So now a Najina check for azder. This is probably the end of his route. We'll see where he goes next. And it's looking like a trip to South Shore, starting from the dam. Yeah, interesting. Of course, Spleebie has not been to Kakariko yet and doesn't have as many hearts as azder does.
All right, we got a glove. The glove is less important than you might think. It is not really part of the Dark World access equation unless you're missing Moon Pearl, and then you need both gloves. And we have flippers in Eastern. Those could also be very easily missed if the bow turns up late for azder.
Yeah.
But the only dungeon that actually requires a glove in this mode is Ice Palace. Everything else is overworld and some limited Dark World access if you don't have Pearl. That was the fastest map check.
So he already checked the map, so it must have just been a misclick. I mean, mispress.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know why I said click.
I think he's just trying to help our tracker who, already is on top of it, but you don't know that when you're a runner and you want to help your crew as much as possible. Give a shout out to our crew, by the way. We got other Tom on tracking who also races glitch modes. And then we have my co-commentator Chex Human and our runners, Spleebie and azder.
So I'm not seeing Spleebie right now in Eastern Palace. azder is continuing to Ice Rod Cave. And he has over 500 rupees, so I would not be surprised if we saw Zora soon. Yeah, here's the water walk setup.
Now, interestingly enough, I can actually see Spleebie on his own stream, so I can commentate a little bit on what's going on. He is fighting Armos, and he got a sword from Armos Knights. This is going to be... Okay, we got him back, so I've now spoiled a little bit for the runners, because I didn't know how far he was on the stream. We'll see.
That is... Okay, I won't commentate then.
It's fine.
On that part. So...
Oops.
So we have a...
he wasn't live when I was commentating that, and then he went live as soon as I said sword.
Yeah. Which is hilarious. Because, yeah. Now we know where all 4 swords are.
Spoiler alert, sword on Armos. Oh my god, a sword.
That means we know where all 4 swords are.
I know. Imagine getting swords in a HMG race, especially when you're Spleebie and
Yeah,
you're
it's hard.
getting calmed by me and checks.
It's hard to believe, but thankfully not every seed is the same.
Yeah, and we saw Azder do the flipper checks without the flippers. That is in logic. So anything he found there, including the shovel, could lead to the flippers in his mind. And although he doesn't know where the flippers are, and it's less likely to really matter unless you find something that also locks Swamp Palace or something like that.
So we got a shovel from the waterfall. It does not lead to anything.
Yeah, but it's something you can check on the way. Unfortunately, it's not really on the way except to Land Molas, so I'm imagining that's probably Checkerboard Lambo next because we just got the glove.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Chad is asking why so many of the indoor skips are not considered in logic, but the underworld clips are. There's kind of a couple reasons. One is that, like, bomb jumps are arguably not glitches, and we do like to leave sequence breaks in the game because they make the routing interesting. But the more simple answer is that the only thing we did to make this mode was take overworld glitches and turn on one glitch toggle, and that is called underworld one frame clips. Nothing else got turned on, so Hera Pot, Icebreaker, those are all still out of logic. Bomb jumping through GT is out of logic. It keeps the things kind of simple.
Yeah, bomb jumping has never really been allowed. I mean, not allowed, but by the but it's always been considered a sequence break.
At Racing Council, ban bomb jumps.
So we have the magic mirror at the back of escape.
All right, that's the good part of the escape for the mirror to be in, because people usually wait for the mirror to do the front of escape because they can route it in with other things like the pyramid fairy, which you can clip to using the mirror.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So I wonder if we'll see a mountain play from azder. Meanwhile, Spleebie's doing his Kakariko check. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get our lamp from Sick Kid and some other nice things, like the sword. Spleebie's gonna get the butter sword very shortly. Okay, so Hera information. I missed it on Spleebie's end, but
Oh gosh.
he didn't do the mountain. He just no, he did the mountain. I just didn't look. Oh yeah, so there was no key here. So what do we do?
Well, how do we get into the top of Hera if there are no keys? Well, we can clip into Hera, and so we can get there from Misery Mire. However, to get into Misery Mire, we need a medallion. There's no way around that here. So what we will do is we consider Hera medallion locked at this point.
Yeah, medallion locked. Sometimes we say Mire locked because it rhymes with fire locked, and that's funny. And then that also means usually Swamp Palace is also Mire locked because the small key of Swamp can also get placed any part of the dungeon. Doesn't have to be in the front door. And you are required to have, front door access for medallion to not come into play for Swamp.
Right, and randomizer runners may be familiar with the Hera Pot glitch, which is, of course, allowed in this mode. It is not, however, part of the logic. It came out after the glitch was kind of discovered after indoor logic was created. So that is just not part of how the item fill logic works for us. But we may see the runners use it. It's very handy to have the hook shot in this mode.
Hookshot's kind of broken in this mode. Like, Herapot changed major glitches so much when it was discovered. I wasn't really around for it, but I'm trying to imagine like what this mode would be like. You would just always be looking for a medallion no matter what if Hera was Mire locked. Now you have this other option that you can find, and you can use it to sequence break into Swamp by spending a Tower of Hera key instead of a Mire key like you're supposed to. The logic does not expect you to burn the Hera key because you can accidentally, or on purpose, spend it in the intended location and never have it available to use. Whereas Mire, we have that extra key that we can spend. Whoa, that's a nice use of spin speed. I've never seen that before. I'm wondering why he terminated the spin speed before spin speed clipping.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Wow, that would have been... Yeah, I'm just like... My mind is expanding. Thanks to your commentary here.
I actually have no idea if maybe he just didn't know if he could predict what would happen if he clipped in with actual spin speed instead of just arm spin speed. Oh, and there's a hammer on Uncle. So with the Mire being where it was, it's not going to be too hard to get to that location. You just get the glove and you do back of escape and then you do Pyramid Fairy. Or you just go to the Uncle from either Gannon's tower climb. There's a couple ways to get here that are not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting routing from azder. We've seen Escape bite him in previous races, or just not have anything. Well, not just for him, but for his opponents. Yeah. He
didn't come here from the Dark World like we expected. He just walked here, right? Am I right about that? I find that very interesting because that means that Pyramid Fairy is a little bit orphaned. That he doesn't intend to go there with the mirror.
Yeah, it's so funny to see Gold Sword on one side and an Uncle Check on the other. And both of these things can happen later in HMG, but it's funny that they're happening now at the 20-minute mark.
It's true. Like you'd expect, oh, it's an hour in, we're checking the Uncle, because you have to at some point if you don't want to orphan something there. Because sometimes the mirror is just there, you know, and you'll just never come back for it. But Gold Sword this early is very unusual, especially this week.
This double spin is very difficult. So azder was hit out of the double spin, but yeah, it's really tricky. I don't understand the pattern to make that work every time.
It's not something you practice in speedruns, really, because the fighter sword doesn't give you a damage boost on spin like the master sword does. So it's pretty much a rando strat, and you have to work on it. And if you're playing standard, you probably don't have master sword either. So nobody learned it for the main tournament.
Right, no one learned it, yeah.
It's really niche. All right, so why is azder going into the wrong entrance of Spectacle Rock Cave?
And this is the right entrance. Well, this is the fast way to get into Palace of Darkness. This is called Kiki Skip because we're skipping Kiki the monkey to open the entrance of Pod. Well, what we're doing is, since all of the underworld is connected, Pod is right underneath Spectacle Rock. So we just clip down from that diagonal wall and cave state Pod, appreciating the stony gray walls. But we're not considered in that dungeon ID yet. So by reloading the entrance, we are now in Pod.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, if you want to stare at that lovely cave pattern longer, you got this dream background at your disposal. But for now, we're in Pod for real, and we get to open chests and not worry about deleting keys because, you know, if you open a chest in the cave, it'll give you a cave key. And we don't want cave keys, we want pod keys.
Right. So in cave state, we can unlock any door we want because in caves we have 255 keys. Essentially, that's the game's way of showing 0 keys while we're in a cave. In other words, that our key count is hidden. So we want to we want to never increase our key count, otherwise we would reach 0. So
Yeah.
that would lock us out of the dungeon.
More importantly, we don't want to collect the big key because the big key
Yes.
will become a nothing and it'll just evaporate in rando. And you won't have the pod big key. And there's only like 3 people I know who have actually known how to skip that in this rule set, and you're one of them.
I don't know if I could. I don't really know what happens to our cave state. Well, this is in rando, that is. I don't know if we keep the cave state big key. I actually don't know the answer to that.
I actually don't either, and I should probably learn in case I ever play no logic and I get the key there.
Yeah, well, I'll test it after this race.
There, you open the rando practice hack. and turn on your quick swap and have your key behavior because it's different in vanilla.
All right, so azder's setting up a camera unlock, and this will help him full clear pod, at least the front of it, and the back before Helma. So, yeah. So it's another indoor glitch. This one is not expected in logic, though. It's kind of the same logic for pod, where we need the bow to get through the dungeon.
Yeah, we find a book in here. Azder knows that's not going to lead to the first bow. Spleebie's doing a really interesting Death Mountain descent. This is one I don't entirely understand, but he screen wrapped himself and then Mire wrapped onto an invisible transition.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant that he was able to transition, I believe, without hard locking the next time, and that put him on his global coordinate. Is that correct?
I don't know how to explain this one very well. The funny thing about this is that it's pretty dangerous, but I learned it from a video that said safe DMD method or something like that. I forgot what it was called, but it was something like that.
It's only dangerous if you do it 10 times before knowing it can hard lock you if you miss the Mire wrap. Maybe it's safer to think it's safe and to just go for it and not be scared.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they're trying to help you with.
The idea of the safety behind it was the movement that will prevent, but it's like it's a set of movements that will prevent a hard lock. Anyway, I do want to mention that in Pod Basement we found the Cane of Samaria, so this has been a good play for azder so far.
It is good, and we have these medallions too, and I'm thinking Mire is possibly open for our runners.
Oh, I missed the medallions being collected, yeah.
So the reason it's important that Spleebie did that is he doesn't have the Moon Pearl yet, and yet he's in Skull Woods. And he's Link. How did he do that? He died, and that's how you get Link state. But it's a little different because in the vanilla game and in Glitch Rando, which we preserve certain vanilla behavior, when you die and you haven't defeated Aghanim yet, the game does not expect you to be in the Dark World. So it'll put you in the Light World. And now we're in Skull Woods, but we're in the Light World, so we're not a bunny. And as long as we stay in this screen, we'll be a Link and not be in the Light World.
That's right. Yeah, I won't say too much more than that. We are in. Did you already say that if we leave the screen that we'll be in the light world again? The real
I said it, but I said it wrong. I said the wrong world.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in fake dark world right now. If we left the screen, we would not be in Village of Outcasts. We would be in the road to Kakariko. So we can either take advantage of that, or it's sort of a disadvantage for routing this side of the world. While if we take a death or if we don't have Moon Pearl. But however, with the mirror, we can return to the real dark world at the cost of returning to bunny form. So Spleebie can take advantage of this routing, and there are two logical checks here because the game does expect us to be able to DMD with the Mire in hand, and it expects us to be able to use the minor glitch of Super Bunny.
I'd also like to point out that azder is in Eastern without the bow.
Yes.
This is a little bit tragic, knowing that the bow is in Sphere 1, but also knowing that it's in a part of Sphere 1 that a lot of runners will put off for a very long time.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I don't know whether it's going to be good or bad because he has flippers, which opens up swamp later, and we don't know if that's necessary or if it'll be really good.
Yeah, there could just be a bow there. Either way, it's a double dip of Eastern that Spleebie didn't have to do. But he did get there through efficient means by mirroring from pod.
Yes.
So he didn't just walk here and spend the whole lot of time there. And there is a bow available for him in chess game, which we saw from Spleebie.
Yeah. So not a difficult bow to find. That's really interesting.
We also know from my little spoiler earlier that there is an item on Armos. It is a sword. azder doesn't know that it's not the Moon Pearl, so he could go and find that bow and think that there might be a Moon Pearl on Armos Knights if he doesn't find one by then.
So, Spleebie is checking the grove here with a nice shovel dash. He walked around in the village of outcasts for a little longer than I expected him to. I kind of wonder if he's going to return to the dark world, but I don't think so. And meanwhile, azder does get that sword at Hobo.
Yeah, it might matter if he puts off going to Eastern for too long, because he might have gone on Master Sword a little bit longer than he would have liked, putting off Armos until, later, because it's just one item now.
So azder's checking Graveyard Ledge. I don't know if Spleebie actually checked this. So it's interesting doing a DMD. We have the choice of two overworld locations. We can't really get them both at the same time unless we have the mitts. So unfortunately, azder, lost that coin flip to get progression there. On the other hand, it does allow him to continue in his route.
Yeah, that coin flip is rather frustrating when it really is just go left or go right, and you have to pick the right one. Sometimes you have to do both. It's quite awkward to route in sometimes. So azder has bought a blue potion. He's bought two. He is not fearing for his life. What is he doing with those?
Well, they may actually not be the medicine of magic or the medicine of life, but maybe melted down flutes that will allow us to travel through the dark world with an overworld fake flute. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see it right away, because I think azder just took some intentional damage to make sure that he was able to use the potion when he gets to that point. And yeah, we'll get to see the medicine of flight, and you'll see why we call it
that. The medicine of flight. I like that. So
it gives you wings.
Yeah, they'll just have to run with that one. So it is. So we can use fake flutes with the blue potion. These are not in logic, but they are a way for us to have link state in the dark world, anywhere in the dark world, where we can pull a statue or pull a tree.
And meanwhile, Spleebie is also doing something interesting and different. He is desyncing his coordinates again, but this time he's using it to set up a Mire portal. And if you were to press X right now, it would show him at Hyrule Castle Courtyard, and that's where his portal went.
Right, it's a misplaced Mire portal or an offset Mire portal. So we can place Mire portals pretty much anywhere in the light world. I mean, in the dark world. Wait, excuse me, what am I trying to say? We can place it anywhere in the light world so that when we walk into it, it will place us wherever we kind of want.
Yeah, he's doing a little screen wrap here that gets him to, wow, that's funny on Oster's side.
Yeah, that's a funny palette situation.
This is an interesting spot to get link state. Why is he not getting link state right now? I feel like this is very risky.
He really should. I don't know why.
There's a tree pole right there.
Yeah, it just might be the end of the route for him.
There it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting use of a fake flute just to get to Pyramid Ledge. I wonder if he remembers Pyramid Fairy is a thing and how to do it.
Yeah, I feel like it's... Where did he flute to? 2?
It must have been 5. Because 2
5?
you need... Well, you can lift the rock for 2, but it's a little dangerous. It's all those enemies.
Yeah, so it might have... Yeah, I feel like it was an error. I don't think there's any strategic play for fluting to 2.
Oh, he was fluting to 3 and he misfluted. That's unfortunate. It's bad enough to misflute when you are using a real one. When you're using a fake flute, you consume a potion. But I appreciate the resourcefulness to do a check anyway that you know is in logic through the Mire escape and take advantage of that. Oh, he's doing the intended route down the mountain. All right.
Yes. I kind of laugh because I feel like this is one of the oldest DMDs that we like kind of knew about as a community.
I remember reading about this as a child.
There you go. Okay. So, yeah, it's ancient tech here. It's not the fastest way to DMD, but it is consistent. So, it works. And Spleebie finds his hammer at Uncle.
We've seen so much Dark World. Makes me wonder where that moon pearl actually is.
Yeah, where can it be? I mean, it could be in Pyramid Fairy, where we are about to find out what is there.
Oh yeah, he does Pyramid Fairy last because he goes through the escape first.
Yeah.
It's a little more efficient to do that way because you screen wrap to that area and to correct your camera, you go into the escape, you might as well do it.
Yeah, I like Spleebie's the way Spleebie routes that in these races. So it's not here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it could be Turtle Rock or it could be Super Bunny Cave.
Turtle Rock is available. Oh, that's correct. And so the hammer and the Mire both get you to East Death Mountain without Moon Pearl. The Mire is another clip similar to what we saw Azder do. And the hammer, you can just hammer the pegs on top of TR and jump right down as a bunny.
Yeah.
And very good point. Mimic Cave is part of that logical access to TR, and you can clip down to that bridge and Mire and do Mimic Cave, and that can be our Moon Pearl as well.
Ooh, okay, so Spleebie is going into pod. He'll have the bow, so he'll be able to get to Helmasaur King. And I really don't know what our crystals and pendants are, so I don't know what the prize is here.
We had a couple trips into the real Dark World, and I haven't seen any map checks from either runner yet. But at this rate, and you're looking for a Moon Pearl, you're going to fight Helmasaur because it can be there. If there's an item on Helmasaur, that is fully in logic with what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So listening in here, I hear crystal music.
Oh, thanks. I have no music because I muted the stream. Appreciate the information I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Crystal Pod is really good. I can't wait till they add the feature that tells you what dungeon you're in because I miss you and all that. And as I'm finding out, being on comms makes it helpful too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the runners are retracing each other's steps a bit. Let's see what Spleebie does here. He's hovering.
All right, just a one try.
Trick. So Yeah. Yeah, Spleebie can do this. I learned this trick from Spleebie as well, but have not implemented it into runs.
I'm not sure I would hover there in HMG, even if I could, because if you get two that aren't keys, because you spent that cave key in the door, you can skip the keys on the right side if they're both keys. We know they're not, but if you find two things that aren't keys here, you can just skip that entirely.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That option. The fun thing about Pod is that there are ways to route it where you can decide what rooms that you need to go into and which ones you don't.
Yeah,
Quite
and if
unlike.
Spleebie had gotten that hover, like, it would have been a really fast check of these, and he would have gotten the book right away, and maybe skip different chests, and that would have been really fast as well.
Yeah, but this isn't so bad, of course. It's just not the optimal outcome.
Unfortunately, Pod doesn't really allow you to have an optimal outcome. Like, the way it placed the items, you were always going to get the item last.
All right, so we have a green pendant at Turtle Rock and pendants at Swamp and Skullwoods this seed. So we don't necessarily need the hookshot to win because our runners can get past Moldorm 2 without it, and they don't need to beat Argus necessarily. So we'll see how the rest of the seed goes for them.
Now, while it is possible to hover past Moldorm 1, or Moldorm 2, it is not possible to hover to Moldorm 1. And we saw there was no key available in Tower of Hera, and that is a crystal that we have to clear. So we saw this earlier today in a different race and actually in another race that Spleebie was in, that your go mode in this mode can be access to Moldorm 1 through either the hookshot or the Medallion of Misery Mire. Assuming you can hover, because if you can't hover, your go mode's just going to be hookshot.
Yeah, that's an interesting potential outcome for this race. So it'll be interesting to see where the rest of our items appear. So, so what will Spleebie want out of the seed once he is done with this check? What does he even want?
He's in go mode.
He's in go mode.
What?
That's my opinion too.
I think he is in go mode. You're right. Unless it's Bombos for Mire, because he does need that Hera access.
Yeah, exactly. Just exactly like we were just talking about.
I think all of the locations that the Moon Pearl can be in at this point are going to be on the way. So I don't think we're going to get to see a Pearless finish. But how fun is that? We are in go mode, most likely 2 out of 3, and not even Moon Pearl.
Yeah, well, we'll find out here. So, 2 upcoming boss fights here. Asher's got Tempered and Bow for Landmo. I like this. Very fun way to play it.
It's a little hybrid NMG here.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. Hybrid, no major glitches.
Yeah, HNMG apparently.
All right, so are we going to see a Moon Pearl on Helmasaur? I actually haven't been counting items, so it might just be a compass or something. But we're running out of locations.
So one of our recent techniques in A Link to the Past speedrunning is an arming of spin speed during the Helmasaur fight. Spleebie went ahead and did it, even though he didn't really need to use hammer hits on Helmasaur King. He just needed 2 gold slashes to get through.
Bombo's tablet has the hook shot, and we haven't seen Bombo's tablet yet.
Wow. So
Well, that's definitely go mode. If you can, even if you can't hover, you have the hook shot. Azder's in go
yeah.
mode. If he knows how to skip the moon
Wow.
pearl, you can finish the game. We might be seeing a lot of potion drinking. We might be seeing some rupee farming to allow for potion drinking, but we can beat the game.
Yeah, it is quite a situation where in glitch modes we may be farming rupees at the end of it just to maintain link state.
All right, we got the
So-
other tablet check is not our moon pearl. It is just a heart container. Narrowing it down to, I believe, just Turtle Rock and Mimic Cave.
And I don't think we've seen Super Bunny Cave.
Oh yeah, that part too. I was thinking kind of all together. But you're right, we haven't seen Super Bunny either. This whole area is open to us with the hammer. As long as, anything that doesn't require us to be Link or be Super Bunny in the overworld, because we can't really get that here, is in logic.
Ooh. Oh. Azder takes a fall.
Moldorm will always be Moldorm.
Yeah.
No matter how much sword you have, Moldorm will just be Moldorm sometimes. I wonder if who wants to be the one to tell Spleebie you can mirror Super Bunny into that cave?
Yeah, I'll tell him.
Thank you. I've seen a couple people do that this tournament, and it makes me a little sad because it's so much faster to just mirror Super Bunny in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the fire rod. We don't even, and the flute. We don't even need those. But
yeah, that's really
fire rod is good.
crazy.
It means you don't have to do that stupid bomb jump in GT to get the big key if you were to need it. It makes the gauntlet a lot better.
Yeah, so it figures here Spleebie is going to do a mirror clip to get into Turtle Rock, and this probably will result in a moon pearl find here, which is very, very interesting if it's a fast one, because it'll really speed up the seed for him.
Yeah, it's actually almost certainly worth it. No matter how much time you spend in Turtle Rock, it's probably going to be faster than trying to beat the rest of the game without the moon pearl. And this is a game 3. If this is like a SpeedGaming daily, I could see why you would kind of want to swag it up and skip the moon pearl, because you get to do that. You don't get to do that very often in this mode. You usually just kind of run into it. But this is a game 3, and this match will determine who plays Tam in the next round and who doesn't.
Okay, so yeah, oh right, Spleebie, I didn't see the refill occur, but this this bunny dungeon revival is a bit time consuming with a full row of hearts.
Spleebie might also get slowed down a little bit by lack of hookshot if he truly considers himself to be in go mode after finding the neutral here. He's not going to go to Bombo's tablet, and he's going to have to do some hovers and bomb jumps through GT to get through it, and that's usually going to be slower than going through with the hookshot. Spleebie is really, really good at hovering, so he's not going to have too much trouble with it, but it will slow him down a tiny bit, and it will slow him down getting to the top of Hera if Mire is even available to him, because that is always going to be slower than the Hera pot. One thing that could happen, though, is he could go to Mire and find out that it's Bombos and realize he's not actually in go mode, and his next check would probably be Desert and Bombos tablet.
Yeah, that would be an interesting situation here, yeah. And meanwhile, Azder's cleaning up Palace of Darkness on his way to Helmus Arcane.
And we have the Moon Pearl and Chain Chomps. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic glitch modes.
Yeah, and Spleebie's going with it. He knows he doesn't. Well, yeah, he knows he needs to check Mire. I think that's what he wants to do. Like you mentioned before, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, you want to know that info before. I would say you look at the medallion and then do desert, but don't necessarily. Well, it's a crystal. Mire's a crystal. I'm thinking of the last seed where we had Hera access go mode. So yeah,
Oh,
you just do
okay.
Mire. You just do Mire, right? So it's still a 1 in 2 and 3 chance that we're in go mode. So there's still a possibility that we're just on a medallion hunt, and that's boring.
Yeah, this is interesting. Spleebie's going directly to Mire. He's not doing any overworld checks. Yeah, this is... I'm not sure how this is going to play out. This is very interesting. So we do have Mire access. It's Quake.
Very good. So I'm curious to see if he is going to clip into Hera from here. I think that's probably the best play.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of hope that it's just hookshot on a boss, but that's rare. Like that happened once, but it's not going to happen in most seeds. Considering Spleebie literally has most of the Dark World to do. Like it's like all of Hype Cave is open, all of Swamp is open, and all of those things could have been his hook shot, and he's not going to expect to find it on the way. So he's just going to do Hera from here. If I, I can't speak for him, but I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. And in terms of game content, unfortunately, we will not be seeing Swamp Palace. I don't believe. Will we?
No, it's a pendant.
And yeah, we have no reason to go there.
And azder is just hard in go mode as well. As soon as he gets that moon pearl, even if he goes looking for it, which he probably will, he'll get to it pretty quickly because there's very few locations left for him. He's just kind of cleaning up some things that he unfortunately orphaned by not having the bow when he came in here. Now he'll find the fire on the way because it's Super Bunny first, and then TR, and have an easier time through Gannon's tower than he would if he was missing the hookshot and the fire rod.
Right. Oh, and fast fight for azder.
azder still has King's Tomb available as a potential moon pearl location.
Yeah,
that's he might go there and get the silver arrows.
Yeah, he's at Mountain Cave, so we'll see where he chooses.
Oh, this looks like King's Tomb.
Yeah.
There you go. Buffer up 1 frame and then dash off and land on the rock and do some twisty turnies, and you're in.
Mm-hmm. And we can fool the game into thinking that we can pick up the heavy rock. And so this is silvers for azder, as opposed to just the bow.
Strange that
for Spleebie.
Not only is this a really fast go mode, but it's extremely comfortable. Like Spleebie's on red mail and butter sword and silvers. And his go mode was moon pearl. Like that's crazy. His go mode was looking at Mire medallion.
Yeah. And we're at 2 hearts. Are we still comfortable? I hope so.
Well, he's not the one who bought 4 blue potions.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's going into Hera. What? Because he didn't do Vidi yet. So I'm wondering, unless he just skipped, he may have just skipped this and is getting the big key. I kind of missed if he actually did these checks or not.
He got the vanilla big key. So we are able to use our big key in other dungeons. All of the keys and all the keys we have are able to be used as we clip throughout the underworld.
Oh, I know what he's doing. Okay, and thanks. Our tracker, other Tom, is also helping us out here, and so is Tam in chat. Spleebie doesn't have the hook shot. He has to do Mire this way. He's just here to open the door.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
And he gets a heal. I think that's why he's doing it before Viddy, because he was on 2 hearts, and now he's on 9. It's a lot better.
Oh yeah, that's right, the fairy room. Yeah, when we clip from Mire to Hera, we go through the Hera fairy room.
This is one of the few times you'll actually see somebody do Mire the intended way. When they're missing the hook shot. The Mire to Hera, that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to drop down and climb the stairs and open that big key door with the Mire big key. And then you're supposed to do Hera separately to get the actual Moldorm prize and not the swamp, and not the Mire prize. Most people just Hera pot, so we don't get to see it very often. Azder has fake fluted to 1.
Uh-huh.
Weird
Not
fake flutes.
Something you see every day. Yeah, so we get brown boulders falling down the mountain.
Yeah, we're in the fake light world because we came from the dark world, and that's why the boulders are brown. So now he's just on Dark Death Mountain again, but in the light world screen.
Yeah, I wonder what the intention was here. Very nice all dungeon style spooky action for Spleebie. The fluteless setup.
Yeah, it's actually I believe the first setup for spooky that was known before the flute spooky was known. It's a little less efficient. You don't get to hit all 3 torches, but one thing that Spleebie got out of mirroring out of Hera was resetting the switch and not having to hit all 3 switches.
Okay, I don't know what the intention was on the right side of the screen, but I really appreciate that we did not get hard locked.
Yeah, I mean, if he did that from a save and quit, it actually would have probably just saved him the potion. So hard lock wouldn't have been so bad.
No, yeah, you're right.
But I think, what does he even have left as far as Darkhold goes? For him, it might just be TR, and maybe he's thinking I need to climb TR and Link State instead of Mirror Clip.
So I'm actually a little confused. Do you think Azder wants to go to Turtle Rock for the Moon Pearl?
Oh, or you think he's just in go mode and just playing the game? Yeah, that might be what's happening here. He might be thinking, just start doing the dungeons that are missing and finish the game without the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I'm just a little unclear. But it will be revealed to us in time. All right, so he's got a mirror wrap. This is good.
Spleebie, thank you. I've done that before. You should always save and quit when something like that happens.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw from Spleebie. He wasn't supposed to screen wrap there. He was supposed to just walk up, and he hit a diagonal and accidentally screen wrapped himself, and that put him in a dangerous situation where if he had moved, he might have hard locked, losing all of his Mire and Hera progress. Yeah, I think Azder did the mirror wrap to get to East Death Mountain. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening. So Azder will soon find Super Bunny Cave right around here. So it's kind of funky to actually like visualize how this works.
This is the hardest part of this. Is finding Super Bunny Cave. The mirror wrap is easy.
Yeah, he's in no danger here. I don't think. He just needs to find where the ledges will guide him to find that cave. So he'll find it.
Yeah, the actual logical way across is a mirror clip where you just kind of drop into the black void and then you clip back up using some weird collision.
Yeah, it is a weird one.
The hammer available to him to just do what Spleebie did, but if you only had the mirror, a lot of people will opt for the mirror wrap because it's actually, I don't want to say it's easier, but hardly anyone remembers how to do the mirror clip anymore. Let's be honest. It's a thing you have to remember and you hardly ever have to do it. And you have other options.
Other options. For example, we could do a Turtle Rock climb as a bunny. We could do a mirror clip to get in position. and then walk across the land bridge. We could do something I've never really seen in Rando ever, but we could do a mirror wrap to get into... oh, well, Ashter finds it. There we
You
go.
found it. Good. And he found the right one.
Mhm.
Even if he didn't, he would just go next door.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't fix his camera.
Nice hell lay for Spleebie. He finds the god pixel and dashes up. The enemies do not get in his way. So yeah. We're in Thieves Town, by the way.
Oh yeah, Thieves Town. Thieves Town, Ice Palace, and Gannon's Tower are left for him, and then he also has to clean up Hera. He opened the door, but he hasn't actually fought Moldorm yet.
Yeah.
Ashtar saved and quit out of there. He's not going to get his Moon Pearl out of TR. Maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he just wants to go finish the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. See, like I said, I wasn't really sure what he was looking for. And so, maybe he was just looking for one of the two items that would speed up the seed for him. I'm not really sure.
Well, the Fire Rod is not a bad thing to find. And the flute will allow him to buy blue potions quicker.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. Ashur will need the blue potions to become Link, and Spleebie will not. So Ashur will, he'll be having to watch his rupees, watch his resources, while Spleebie has Moon Pearl and can go wherever he likes much more quickly. So, yeah, Ashur's buying blue potions.
No, he has 500 rupees. So keep an eye on those. Those are going to be very important. He can afford one more potion with the money he has, but I think he also has like 2 more potions in his pocket.
Yeah, it might be that he has enough to finish the game. I'm not really sure. But yeah.
Yeah, if he does 1 for Thieves Town, 1 for Mire, and then if he finds the mitts, he doesn't need 1 for Ice, but he probably will need 1. And then Gannon's Tower, you can 1-frame clip to if he knows how to do that. But otherwise, that would be his 4th bottle, and then he would drop down to Gannon and get the Link State that he got from GT and use it to fight Gannon.
It would be a sight to see if someone in this tournament went to Ice Palace with a mirror wrap as a bunny. It's not easy, but it's possible.
How do you get up there? I've tried citrus clipping.
It would be a mirror clip to get into position. I wouldn't really know any other way.
There's a mirror clip that gets you up there?
Well, just like I mentioned with Turtle Rock Climb earlier before, we can place a mirror portal, then position Link in the light world where you would want him to be with boots clipping.
Oh, the bumper ledge item tech. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just clip in the light world and you let the mirror take you right back. And Spleebie is going to show us what we're talking about, but not that whole mirror thing. Just the mirror wrap to Ice Palace, which is not in logic, but there is a different wrap that is harder and slower. So for now, we all just do that. Spleebie, you don't need to go that high. Please stop giving your commentators heart attacks. Somebody tells Spleebie you can be like an entire tile lower and be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm already telling him about Super Bunny, so.
All right, I'll take this one.
All right, so Ashter, Ashter is a bunny. He.
No, dude, he needs to not get hit. That's really important. There's a reason I do the dash that I do. That's up and around. It's safer.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. So unfortunate. He can actually do another fake flute to get back here, and I think that's what he has in mind.
Yeah. I wasn't totally attention to the order of things there. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, up and around. You mean you would go to the left and up to the transition and then back down?
Yeah, the same way you go when you're going to like the upper ledge area.
Yeah.
It's a upper level thing. I don't think it's actually the fastest. Okay. Didn't make the same mistake twice. You can pull this and it will put him in that animation that the game will just put you in Link state and you'll just be Link until you exit the underworld.
Yeah,
I think
Do you
this-
think he's going to Ice Palace?
No, I think he's checking his Mire medallion for the same reason.
Oh, he needs to.
Wait a minute.
Right.
He's doing a. Oh, he just likes to clip to Mire from here. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. This is like our standard Mire clip from the classical dungeon speedrun.
Right, he's doing the speedrun. Yeah, when in doubt, do the speedrun. If you don't know what else to do, it's always a good option. Yeah, that's we just call that fluteless Mire, but there's actually a lot of different ways in. So he'll be able to open Misery Mire here and full clear it, and also he doesn't have to unlock Hera like Spleebie did because he has the hook shot and can just Hera pot later. Meanwhile, Spleebie has taken down Cold Stare. That's his second to last crystal, and he just has to do Hera into GT and he'll be done.
I wish I could have commentated on Ice Palace a little bit, but we missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I assume it started with an ice clip to make the first rooms faster.
We missed the ice clip. Oh,
Yeah.
It's the one clip. Well, I guess we got to see Mire to Hera as well. And we got to see a couple Kiki skips because people were in there looking for a Moon Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
And we got our clips today. We just didn't get Swamp. But that's fine. We get plenty of Swamp in other races. This is a whole tournament that's happening. It's not even over in week 1.
Right.
And we have a glut of race streams happening. There's actually another one happening right now that doesn't have a comm. Recommend you just watch that back with some chill music on and see what those runners do.
Yeah, for sure. Shoutouts to Tarsho and Arborelia, who have been amazing runners and commentators so far in this tournament.
That's true. I believe both of them have picked up a couple races for commentary, including Tajta doing a couple solo comms. All right, Spleebie is doing a pretty kind of vanilla climb of Tower of Hera, just a little bit overpowered, but not Hera pot, which is what we usually see here. So it's kind of refreshing to see a Hera that's not Hera pot for once.
Ooh. Okay, so azder is taking a bit of a winding route through Mire. Won't find the big key right away. Okay, and incidentally, I do want to mention that Spleebie performed a bomb clip to get past Ice 1 to the bombable floor. Just going back and checking the tape.
Oh, nice.
He used a fricker setup, a bonk setup that makes the bomb clip a lot easier.
Oh, it took him so long to get convinced to use that setup. He was very stubborn about it, and I kept, hey, it's so easy, it's so easy. I finally made a guide, and he finally learned it. It's so easy. It's really easy. This is the secret of major glitches. They're not harder than minor glitches. So if you want to learn these modes, it's not a huge barrier to entry. Like, you don't have to learn hover level tech to do these tricks. Most of the ones that are really difficult are not in logic or not even that useful most of the time. Oh wait, are we actually getting a GT big key guessing game?
Well, I'm not here to guess where anything else is in G Tower.
Yeah. Yep, put a number in chat because this is one of the few times we get to see Gannon's Tower in Go mode where none of the runners have dipped it yet.
Mm-hmm. And we have all the items to get. Well, Spleebie doesn't have hookshot.
No, he has to do all this.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I really hope azder finishes this out for us and doesn't find the Moon Pearl, which is looking very likely at this point because you're not going to go back to Turtle Rock when you're in Go mode.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Spleebie finds the big key and the map room. I'm not sure what number it was for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. His screen was a little bit frozen on my end, so it was hard to see.
Yeah, most likely number 8.
Yeah, we don't have a bot because it's not something we normally need for glitch modes. Usually come in here much earlier, but with the moon pearl being late, nobody had any reason to.
Yeah. And Spleebie is going up the tower of, Gannon's tower. He's picking up arrows on the way, which is a good idea. He'll need them for Gauntlet and Motu for Gannon.
This is going to be an incredible finish time. We saw something similar from Farime versus Obscure Lifeform earlier with GT climb sub 110 for both runners. Or rather, the last dungeon, because it's not GT's not always your last dungeon.
Right, I came into that race a little bit late and was surprised that it went directly from GT into Gannon.
Yeah, it's like, wait, is this actually glitch mode, or is this the main tournament again? I think
Right,
Spleebie
because
was. Yeah, no, he has the fire rod. Oh no, Spleebie, he's on 2
yeah.
Okay, we're good. We don't have a whole lot in the way of safeties, though. Oh, nice recovery from that land.
Yeah.
Got taking advantage of the gold sword, doing 2-hit damage to Landmo.
Yeah, we were able to take advantage of the good RNG to secure the 1 cycle.
Oh, nice fairy. Oh, clutch. Super clutch.
Red Boomerang to the rescue here. All right, so what's next for Azder? Does he still need to complete? So he opened up. He opened up Thieves Town, so he doesn't have to fake flute there, right?
No, he can clip out, but I think he's gonna do it anyway. It's a little faster. But yeah, no, he has to watch his money. So he's gonna mirror clip out again and then walk there into Death Warp inside.
Yeah. And then I assume Ice Palace will be after that.
I feel like I'm 12 years old again seeing this mirror clip. Watching whatever was there before YouTube. And some big text document explaining EG and Super Bunny. And that was it.
Alright, Spleebie takes a fall to Moldorm too.
One does not simply fall to Mordorm.
So, so hover attempts coming up. Spleebie is very good at hovering, but it is a very inconsistent trick. It's no surprise when it doesn't work, every time.
Yeah, it's frame perfect. Like, you have to be releasing those A presses frame perfectly, and that requires a certain amount of rhythm. And he gets it on the second try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something about a 111 on your last dungeon, and your opponent hasn't finished yet. He has to be feeling ahead, but also he took a long time to get to the Moon Pearl, and maybe somebody doesn't, and you don't know that you're. Alistair's just chasing down this fire snake, and that was funny.
Yeah, I kind of missed what his strategy would be for death warping here. The funny thing about this dungeon is that there's a Zazak right at the beginning that you can hop onto, but it's what seems like a coin flip of him walking past the pot where the bunny cannot reach.
Alistair also has red mail, so that fire snake was a good option for him. But,
yes, trap damage.
Yeah, but it was just moving at the same speed as him, so he was just riding it like.
What I do want to mention here for glitched racers is we could potentially super bunny into Thieves Town, and then use Unbunny Beam to become Link.
Oh yeah, that's some current tech right there. Oh, don't get your minor glitches in my major glitches. I had to learn another glitch now.
All right, Spleebie's at Gannon. He's got Gold Sword, so we should be seeing one cycle phase 1 and 2. We've got Warping Gannon, so we're in phase 3. So it appears to be a frozen screen on my end, but
Yeah,
it'll take. Oh, we've got yeah, Spleebie's making progress. He has 6 shots with his bow. I'm sure he'll nail 4 shots and finish the game shortly.
Curious why it appears like he's setting up for a silverless hit. Oh, here we go. He's finished. That was
Yeah,
a
he's
very fast
sort
Gannon
up.
fight. Just teleported. So this is what we call a teleport.
Yeah, this is not a teleport I'm familiar with. Anyway, GG's for Spleebie, who has crossed the finish line.
Yeah, and taken the series with official racetime.gg time of 1:13:48. And we'll be playing Tam in the next round. Now, keep an eye on next week's schedule as you see these races come up, because they can already start scheduling them now.
Yeah, that will be exciting. So, azder is making his way through Thieves Town, and will be finding Blind in her cell.
And also shout out to azder for letting us see the Moon Pearl finish to its completion. Or I should say the Pearless finish.
Yeah. Yeah, once in a while we get a glitched seed without the use of the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and at this point I think azder knows where it is and just says it's pendant TR. I don't care. I'm just going to finish the game. And that's so much more fun anyway, especially if you've already lost, you might as well finish the game and put on a good show and show how you don't need the Moon Pearl for these glitch modes. Okay, azder needs to return to the Dark World before fake fluting. But I guess he's going to check this first, but I'm not sure what he's hoping to find. Oh, he might be looking for Mitz, because Mitz will give him an easier entry into Ice Palace.
That's possible.
Yeah, and Spleebie has joined us. GG, congratulations on advancing to the next round.
Thanks. GG's.
GG, Spleebie.
I'm still waiting for my heart to slow down.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what was your go mode?
Moon Pearl.
Moon Pearl. All right. I was curious what your answer would be, because it could have been Moon Pearl, but it also could have been Mire Knowledge. Or it could have been whatever you found before Moon Pearl that put you in go mode without Moon Pearl.
Yeah, I mean, Moon Pearl was maybe go, which is why I mirrored out a TR and went and checked Mire immediately. But I was counting that as basically go mode. Before that it was Fire Rod.
Yeah, azder is finishing the game without the Moon Pearl, but
Yeah,
by the time you got to
about
that point, it was faster to just get it than to not
Yeah,
get it. It was the only location left.
Except I thought the book was in logic without it. Where was the book?
The book was in pod. We saw that it was locking the hookshot on Bombo's tablet, so
Okay.
you were missing that location.
Right.
So yeah, I guess it could
Yeah,
have been
so it
there
could
as
have been
well.
Bombos. But I was down to Bombos or Turtle Rock, and so I went there.
Yeah, and Bombos wouldn't be too hard to get back to either. The fire rod wasn't needed in this seed at all.
Except for Cold Stare.
Oh, you didn't have a mapping for Cold Stare. Very good point.
Oh yeah. Gosh, I didn't think of that.
That's why Fire Rod would have been go mode.
Right.
I guess
Right.
if you were thinking right side GT for the key, maybe.
Which
but that's
wasn't
doable
there.
with lamp. So
And it wasn't there anyway.
yeah.
But no, I forgot about Cold Stare. That's something I would have walked in there and been like, wait a second. And then clip past the freezer and not even notice until Cold Stare. Oh, that can get you, can it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I started speculating and I didn't really think about Ice Palace. So about your Dark World Death Mountain routing, Spleebie, you can get into Super Bunny Cave with a Super Bunny Mire. In other words,
Yeah.
you don't have to walk all the way through.
Yeah. I always forget about that until I jump down.
I made checks tell you that.
I'm like, oh, I have mirror. I'll just jump down and mirror through the blocks.
Poor
Yes, right.
Poor Ashter is trying to get Link State off of that statue, and the bomber was camping it the entire time, and he actually had to scroll it off screen to get it open to him. But he's going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, this is neat to see a Flippers wrap. We didn't see that from Spleebie.
Flipper's wrap is a little safer because when you do a mirror wrap and you don't have the Moon Pearl, it puts you in long state, which can mess with your muscle memory for the mirror wrap. And if you're expecting to have a support buffer available to you at the end, you won't have it and you'll hard lock.
Yeah, exactly. Forgot about that. Yeah, there's another thing I just thought of that I sort of was bantering about today, which is that you can to search Turtle Rock, you could also use a Mirror Super Bunny there, and then bonk over the railing. Then when you go through the pipes, you'll be Lonk, actually. So you can just take a hit and become Link.
That's wild. Huh.
That's some good knowledge.
Yeah, I guess if you're in like Spleebie's situation where you got what happened to Ashter?
Oh,
I'm a little
missed.
concerned.
Yeah, I kind of missed how this occurred.
He actually managed to wrap himself into the Ice Palace screen, but it's not inside of the cage of Ice Palace. So he's.
I appreciate that he's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Because when this happens, there is a hard lock potential, but it is also possible to just correct everything. Try again.
Which is what he's doing. This is he was smart enough to recognize what screen he was on and how to get out of it.
You have to go get another blue potion otherwise.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge time save over starting over the entire process.
I've just got to say that Ashter's had the most entertaining Dark World routes I've seen in this tournament. There was like the most epic pyramid check I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, I think he misfluted to 2 instead of 3
races ago. Well, I'm just talking about like a couple of races ago.
Oh, I'll have to remember that because I was probably on comms for it. I don't remember.
Well, it was either game 1 or it was versus Aussie in a qualifier.
Right, the qualifiers.
I don't remember which. So we got 1 screen wrap so far. We need to now do we need to get in position to go downwards. Or how does this work? We do a hop. Yeah. We do that gives us another wrap.
That's not supposed to happen.
He must have misclicked.
There's the hard lock. But the hard lock doesn't lose him anything unless he mirrored and fluted. I missed if he had saved and quit before this trip.
I don't know.
The last dungeon would have been Mire?
Well, I think it was Thieves Town.
Thieves Town, right. He went to Thieves Town, he walked there, and then hopefully he didn't fake flute out of Thieves Town because he would have lost all of that. Because you could complete Thieves Town and then mirror and do another fake flute and just kind of chain them all together. He has one crystal missing, so he's fine. He only has ice missing. Okay, that I can breathe.
That's good.
I would like to think he wouldn't have played that risky if he had known he had something to lose. And he actually gained his blue potion back by hard resetting, so he was going to be doing that anyway. I would argue it's a little safer to go to 7 for the fake flute, and then there's a statue down here you can pull.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's going to a high statue that he knows about, but there's a much safer statue that's the trio of 3 that you can pull.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, we can. Well, regardless, he's found his statue. He's going to try again. And so in the last attempt, he got he was swimming down, which is correct, but he got a right input, probably by accident. So
yeah, it's really easy to get hecked by diagonals. If you have like a D-pad that just makes diagonals for no reason, that can ruin this clip very easily.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Time to replace your D-pad in that case.
Yeah, or don't use an 8-bit though.
So,
There's
Spleebie,
other
another
reasons for that.
Oh,
Like the select buffering.
Okay, yeah, that's an issue. That is an issue for sure. No,
No.
Yeah, you want to move
Okay.
down. You want to move down there.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
down
he
was the
doesn't
next
just do
step.
the mirror wrap. He's got to know that from AD RMG, right?
Yeah.
We were speculating that
And he has
was
mirror.
shying away from it because when he mirrors, he becomes lonk, and that can also cause problems if you're not used to being lonk. But I would also don't know if he knows that you become lonk.
I don't know.
It's a weird thing to know, and I only know it because I hardlocked doing it once.
Yeah.
So has he just been go moding everything since Fire Rod or so?
Yes. In fact, like you said, Fire Rod was your go mode, and so it was his go mode as well. I was just not comprehending why he saved and quit at Fire Rod. So, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, so Fire Rod for me was like well, that's bottle go mode, but surely it'll be faster to just find the Moon Pearl. So
Yeah.
I kept going until I did.
Right.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's maybe it's faster. If you feel like you're behind, you might feel like you have to kind of rush your go mode and try and I don't know.
Yeah, I would
hard to
do
get
that
into
if I
the runners.
Yeah, I would skip it if I were making bad decisions. But from the commentator's point of view, I just figured you were about to find it like imminently, so it would speed up the whole rest of the seed.
Yeah, and I was saying that if this was like a speed gaming daily with no stakes, I would have 100% finished without Moon Pearl just to show it off. But because this is a tournament race with your tournament life on the line, it totally makes sense to do what's faster than what's cooler.
All right, here comes another attempt for azder. He's getting into the position for the screen wrap. He's gonna go straight down. Then he goes to the right. Now what do we do?
Go straight down.
Gotta hold down. No, don't do that.
Not up. Oh.
No, just down.
Yeah, he's just not remembering correctly at this point.
It is one of those glitches that it's kind of like the mirror clip to East Death Mountain. Like you just don't do it often enough to usually solidify it in muscle memory. But I'm still surprised that he doesn't go for the mirror wrap because he has to know that from the speedrun.
Yeah, and I do want to give a special shout out to Tajso, who helped me find this wrap, because I figured there would be like a way to screen wrap ourselves into Ice Palace. So this kind of comes out of that search. And then I think Futon was the one who thought it would be a good idea for Randomizer. So we have either a Mitts logical entry into Ice Palace or Flippers and Pearl entry. So that has met with controversy. So we'll see the fate of that.
Yeah,
in the
thumbs
next
up
version.
or thumbs down for Flippers Wrap and Logic.
Yeah, it's looking like we want this wrap for major glitches, but not for overworld glitches, as it seems to be kind of out of character with our overworld glitches mode. So about hybrid, I'm not quite sure. It'll be kind of interesting.
It wouldn't be in
taking
hybrid
it out
if
of
it's not.
overworld glitches would take it out of this too. Yeah.
Exactly, because mirror wraps wouldn't be in this. It was
That makes sense
considered.
to me.
I considered adding mirror wraps when I was making this mode. As
Mm-hmm.
a mirror wraps aren't hard, but I wanted to keep it as simple as possible and just be able to sell it as, it's overworld glitches with one more thing, and not overworld glitches with this laundry list of more things. And I think that makes it a little bit easier to comprehend for people who are starting from overworld glitches.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, yeah. So, by the way, Spleebie, I just wanted to shout out. I made a note here that your Mire routing was pretty cool. Like, we were kind of confused about whether you would go to Vitreous first. And Malmo realized you would get a full heal by clipping to Hera.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you also
Very
get your switch state reset. So when you go back through, you have as Oster's just not knowing the inputs. That's unfortunate. I wonder if he's looking at a guide, because I saw him pause before transitioning.
Yeah, it's possible.
Just pausing to dredge it up out of his memory. Possibly.
It's kind of a hard one because it's a fairly recent discovery. The Flippers wrap compared to Mirror wrap, which is a lot older.
Yeah. But yeah, that is exactly why I was debating going to Vitreous first or going to unlock Hera, and then I realized, oh, if I go to Hera, I can get the fairy refill and then have full hearts. Since I didn't have any I had the cape and I guess 2 green potions, but
yeah, I was
figured it would
scared
work
because
out
you had.
better that way.
Yeah, for sure. I was scared because you had 2 hearts.
Yeah.
Well, in Mire.
It does look like he's having a look at a guide or something, because he's continuing and he's stopping to look. And he's not forfeit yet, so he's going to finish this out for us if he can pull off the ice wrap.
Yeah.
Interesting to think like the Moon Pearl isn't really stopping him. It's just slowing him down. But, picking up the Moon Pearl wouldn't have really helped him compared to finding, for example, the Mitts, which is what I think he was looking for when he was opening chests outside of Go Mode.
Possibly if he had the Moon Pearl, he'd be doing the mirror wrap.
Maybe he doesn't know that the mirror wrap works as a link state from Super Bunny. Like it might just be a complete unknown to him that you can do that at all.
Or he just might not be comfortable with mirror wrap at all, which is also possible. Like, even though Usher's in all dungeons runner, I'm not 100% certain that he would go for the mirror wrap in it. We've mentioned that speedrun a lot during this, but there are a number of ways to route that. We don't need to do every glitch.
It's true. You don't even need the mirror wrap. You can just mirror and walk to Ice Palace and swim there. Because you do have the Mitts in the run.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that for both Spleebie and azder, neither checked Hype Cave.
No, it
No,
wouldn't. It wouldn't
I
make sense
didn't.
to. You either find your go mode and then you find your moon pearl, or you find your go mode and don't find your moon pearl. And Hype Cave is never going to come into play in either of those scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only Dark World locations I checked were the ones in Logic as a bunny.
Right.
So didn't make sense to check anything else.
Yeah, that's so
Especially with
interesting.
gold sword, silvers, red mail, 4 bottles, cape, like
4 bottles, yeah.
Oh no, you got the chicken soft lock from picking up a bush. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. And I think you can. Can you walk into Hype
You
Cave
can
and
just-
fix that? Because
you
the
can
Hype
just
Cave
hop back
doesn't.
in the water to fix that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Because he's a bunny, and it's also not open.
Walking into a cave will correct it. Hype Cave is not open, but
It's not going to work for him, but normally it would, I think.
yeah.
The same
So
if you do a screen wrap on the mountain and pick up a bush, you can just hop into Spike Cave to fix
Yeah,
it.
it's the same idea, isn't it?
right.
Then the water makes sense.
And that's still EG2, so
Interesting. All right, well, we'll get to see another attempt coming up. Hopefully that in those pauses he has looked up the inputs, and I think there is a guide, a text guide that goes step by step. It is a rather complicated glitch to learn. It's one of the harder ones to pick up, so I can see why sifting through that could take a little bit of time. It's not something you could just glance over during a race.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anyone interested in getting into major glitches, the link to the past randomizer Discord is a great place to start. And all of our resources are pinned. And you can also just ask anyone about how to do something or how to get started. People will be happy to help. It can be tricky to categorize, organize, and put everything all together. Since there's so much that we can do in this game, and there's so much that we're discovering all the time. But we've had some really great resources lately, especially with Malmo's text and image-based guides, overworld maps, lots of stuff specifically geared toward Randomizer.
yeah, Momo kind of came onto the glitches scene here and really put out a ton of stuff as she learned it. So now we have all of these great resources that she made that we didn't before, which is awesome.
Yeah, another thing we have that nobody is really talking about. Oh, we got it. Okay, so we're going in Ice Palace, and we can now do the bomb clip that we totally glossed over Spleebie doing earlier.
There's a bomb. It's not really where we wanted it. There we go. azder just needs to throw it into place, then dash, then
So using the best setup.
There we go. How did you get past these pegs, Spleebie?
Oh, I threw a bomb.
You threw a bomb. azder threw a block.
I do the azder method.
Yeah,
But
right
only
after
'cause
the
I'm bad at
clip.
the bomb. Yeah, the
right
bomb
after
is
the
better.
clip, I hold down and drop a bomb, and then slash the berry and pick up the bomb and throw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think
That's
the bomb
method
is
I'm at.
pretty fast compared to the block. The block you often have to try twice because you hit the Bari and then you have to do another block.
As they're also checking that chest for a key. It's a little bit faster if it's a key.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's a nice little gamble you could do. He's actually continuing to check the chests.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure why. Maybe he thinks the Moon Pearl can be here because maybe it's just Mitts and GR.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we gonna find out what's in the chest?
Maybe we might see his key counter go up. I think it
Yeah.
was a key because one of them was a key because he has one key still. There wasn't not the moon
Depends on
pearl.
if he opened the spike room chest.
Yeah. Oh, he's keep going. All right. Very curious what he's looking for. Maybe he just wants to know where the items are. Yeah, one thing I was kind of mentioning, another resource that has gone under the radar is Arborelia has been updating the Rando wiki for major glitches. So she's been doing a lot of like in-depth text write-ups, and they're very detailed on how to do things. They don't gloss over the practical stuff. That's also a really good resource to check out.
Yeah, for sure. And it was much neat. A lot of the pages that she's added were very much needed. All right. Well, with gold sword, gold stare disappears in an instant.
Melts like butter. So Gannon's Tower. Azder has a couple ways to get up here. The fastest would be Citrus Clip from Death Mountain. I'm curious to see if he knows how to do that or if he's going to be doing a sort of Death Mountain ascent from a fake flute.
I seriously doubt this would be a fake flute. Another option could be, like I've mentioned it before, a boots clip with a Mire clip.
Oh, that's true. You could just clip in. I'm wondering, though, if that works with the light world collision, that you might accidentally just yeet yourself out instead of clipping to the end. I've never tried using the kind of dark world setup in the light world.
Well, let's see.
Oh, this looks like what you're describing? Oh, no, this is a mirror. Is he getting his moon pearl?
Yeah, well done, Mire Wrap. It is time once again to play Find the Cave entrance. The thing about this is it starts with
a super bunny, doesn't it?
He's walking.
Oh, you're saying he's
That's what
going to
Tam is
open
saying.
the entrance of GT.
Tam he has 7 crystals in his pocket. What are these things? What do we do with them? We open GT with them.
That's hilarious. So after the Mire Wrap, we have to go down left and then up. Azder started going to the right, so it's been making his traversal a little tricky. So there he goes. He finds the left route and finds it.
Oh, he did come check
props to Azder. I wouldn't have even thought to walk to GT and open it with crystals.
This is where the fire rod was, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So this is also a fine illustration of why this is 7-7 defeat Gannon and not 7-0 defeat Gannon. Because if it was 0 crystal entry to GT, the thing that Azder was doing right now would be in logic for Moon Pearl.
I believe that, yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily be dodging Lionel's here. This is one of his more reliable sources of damage.
Yeah. True.
Look at this. You never see this. Bunny opening Gannon's tower.
Wow.
It's so good. With 7 crystals. Yeah, the Lionel projectile did half a heart, but I think the Lionel will still body you for 1. But he can climb upstairs and take spike damage too, and that'll.
What do we call this? Walk to GT glitch.
Yeah, is this even legal?
I don't know.
HMG?
I don't know if it. Yeah, I think this is a no major glitch. I think this is banned in hybrid major glitches.
So, yes. So, yeah. So I've seen Bunny Link do a lot of funny things in this game, but opening GT, I think this is a first for me.
This is a first for me too. This is one of the wackiest things I've ever seen the bunny do.
I'm sure entrance and mystery runners have seen this, but it's pretty quirky for me.
Right. Mystery, you just walk up and you try to read the sign, and then on the way there, you just get grabbed by the crystals.
Yeah. So I think we're saying the same route as Spleebie, where we saw Hope Room first, then DM Room.
That's good
And-
because he won't be mirroring out of here. Oh, he almost looked like he was going to.
Yeah.
Making a liar out of me.
No, I'm kind of amazed that if I had checked the one other thing in logic before TR, I would have had the hook shot too. Which,
Yeah, it's
I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
slow me down that much.
it's true. And we
Moldrum
were
was
talking
kind of
about
a jerk, but
it was mostly for Hera. Like you could have Hera potted.
yeah. And the Dark World just had nothing in this seed, I guess.
I guess so. It's because of
Yeah.
where the moon pearl was placed. Probably placed early in the algorithm and then force everything else in those other locations. What's weird though is that location is only locked by the mirror.
Yeah. Yes, it was a pretty flat seed. I didn't track all the items here, but the mirror was locked by glove, so
Yeah, it's Sphere 3 moon pearl.
basically, yeah.
Not as deep as it looked.
Right.
Tier 3, Moon Pearl Go mode. That's just nuts.
It is nuts. And everything else was in Sphere 3. Like, yeah, nothing in dungeons, really. I mean, Pod was a lot. Pod had, oh no, Thieves Town. Thieves Town had the cane, and there's a bow in, wait, no, I'm thinking of another seed. Oh, this is what happens when you do comms twice in a row.
Yeah. That would affect my randomizer play if I were to do 2 seeds in a row.
Imagine doing 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Very nice Lambo, especially with that bad RNG. If you missed those shots, you would have a hard time recovering.
Yeah, how about 7 in a row? Someone's doing that.
Who?
Or did it.
When?
I think it's Rywek?
That's a
In
name I haven't
the-
seen in a while.
French tourney?
Holy cow. Is it just like a big old round ramen or something?
I'm not sure what the setup is, but it was like a only available on the weekend and just scheduled a gauntlet.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't imagine doing that and your brain not just turning to mush.
Well, the actual coordination required is impressive.
Yeah, if they're against different opponents, they have to, what if a race goes long, right? And what if it goes short and they want to start early? It's kind of like scheduling appointments with patients, and you don't know how long those appointments are going to take. So you just have to make do. Sometimes your patient walks in and they have a moon pearl on Trinex, and that just takes longer, Although I think I'm maybe forgetting what mode they're running, because I don't think moon pearl can be on Trinex in the tournament.
So, I believe we've passed the last bunny beam of the game here. I think there is a possibility that the bunny beam can like perma bunny you.
Not
I
in
believe.
fake Dark World.
Not in fake Dark World.
He died. He didn't take a super bunny from. He didn't take a fake flute here. He died, so he's fine.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay.
Because he's
That
just
makes
in
sense.
the light world now. He'll be okay.
Right. Okay. I understand.
I'm
I
not sure
couldn't
how it
remember.
goes with the Fake World Fixed Dungeon Bunny revival. Oh, the Aghanim was such a tease. You get
The
2 free
RNG here
triples.
was like, yeah, free double triple. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Something didn't
yeah, that
even
is double.
count. That was
Yeah.
robbed for sure. He should have gotten that.
Didn't mind the slap in the face there after, when I was up there at 110.
Fair enough. Yeah, you feel like.
It's
Right.
like, well, okay,
Well-
that's fine.
You got past the hover. You got past the Helma conveyor room.
Yeah, which I need to learn the right strat for that because I use the hook shot and I don't know what to do when I don't have it.
Okay.
I don't have that problem, Spleebie.
Okay.
No, I think
I thought you
like
said you learned Moldorm Bounce.
I learned how to do it 5 times in an hour with save states. Maybe later. It'll be a problem at some point, but for now, I think you just slash your sword a few times. Is that right? Or do you have
I
to
know
actually
it's like
time
a
it?
certain pattern of walking in one slash.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Because it's about delaying the Helma, right? Getting him to move past you and then dashing up.
Yes.
All right, this is going to be a super quick fight for Azder. He's got just a couple more silver arrows to hit, and he'll be done.
So, fun fact: we got frozen Gannon on both racer screens, and it ends with a sword up.
Another
You
teleport.
both performed the same teleport Gannon out of the room glitch, apparently.
Oh yeah, we should ask the racing council. This is legal.
Well,
does
we
that
may have
happen on
lost
mine,
some
too?
frames, but GG's, huge GG's to Azder for finishing this out and making one of the funnest to watch races.
Yeah, what a way to go out of the tournament with a bang, finishing without the Moon Pearl.
And GG Azder.
GG.
GG.
Yeah, thanks for showing us that. That was really fun.
Yeah, really great to see a Perla seed here.
Where was Moon Pearl? Was it in Turtle Rock?
Yeah.
Chomps.
I figured it out way too late, and I realized how incredibly easy the seed was if you just figured it out.
Well, I was down
Right.
to Bombos Tablet or Turtle Rock. Well, Bombos and Ether or Turtle Rock. I skipped Bombos, did Ether and Turtle Rock. Never went back to Bombos Tablet.
That's funny, so you missed Hookshot.
Yeah.
Really needed.
Azder, what were you looking for when you went to Bombos? How were you feeling about the seed at that point?
So I had found the bow in chess game, and that put the book in Palace of Darkness and Logic. So I realized at that point Moon Pearl could have been there.
Right.
Or was that your first bow?
I-
Yeah, that's interesting.
easy to miss in this mode. In any mode, really, for different reasons.
Yeah, so I did the early hobo clip and got the sword, which sent me to Death Mountain. And then I did early King's Tomb, got the bow there, and went to Eastern, all before Kakariko.
Yeah, that early routing was crazy for Spleebie.
Yeah, Kakariko didn't really have much, did it?
Had the lamp at the sick kid. That was it.
Yeah, I was thinking like I exhausted my other options, and then I remembered that Pearl could be on East Death Mountain, so I went there. I haven't done that mirror rep before, so I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I after the wrap, you want to start with a down left. So since you went right, it became more challenging.
There's also another path to East Death Mountain using the hammer. If you just clip on top of Turtle Rock, you can access that portal.
Oh, right. That would have been way easier. I didn't think of that.
I did appreciate your route to Gannon's Tower. I could not have predicted what you were going to do to get in there.
That's kind of funny. I was
Tam realized it.
like when I got Fire Rod and Flute from Super Bunny, I was just like, oh, okay, Moon Pearl's in Mire area, and then I save and quit. And then I realized I didn't have mitts. Then I realized I had no idea where Moon Pearl was,
Right.
what I had missed, and then only later I figured out it was in Turtle Rock, probably. But so I had left that, and at that point I was just like, well, it's going to be slower to go back to Turtle Rock to get it, right? Like I should just try and set up my fake flute so I can just finish without the pearl. And I thought that would be faster, and I really don't think it was. I also forgot how to do Flipper's route because I forgot the final step. Basically, that was the big thing.
Right, exactly. So how about Mirror Wrap? Are you comfortable with Mirror Wrap to Ice Palace at all?
Well, yeah, I would prefer to do Mirror Rat, but I didn't want to. I probably should have gone for it since I was doing the whole thing from a save and quit anyways, but my thinking was that I didn't want to try to do the Mirror Wrap and mess it up and mirror and then like get back into the dark world and be a bunny. I guess it wouldn't matter, would it?
No,
Maybe not.
Do
I
it
can
as a
explain
bunny.
why, and it's probably not what you're thinking. Because you can still mirror wrap as a bunny, and it's fine. You'll just be a bunny. But when you mirror wrap as a link state bunny, you become Lonk, and you won't be able to do whatever sword buffers that you're used to getting to the screen edge. So if you're used to buffering to that hard lock transition before moving, then you might be in trouble. But if you're used to just walking to it and YOLOing it, you'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, I guess that makes sense because it's sort of like the wraps will give you super bunny, so it makes sense that in link state they would give you long state, I guess.
I didn't know the wraps gave you super bunny. That's cool.
I actually I'm assuming I know the fake flute does, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know for a fact, but I was just assuming based on that.
Video game logic. And by the way, there is a statue pulled just to the east of the dam. That would have been more convenient for you, less treacherous.
Okay, so see, I used to think there was one there, and then I saw people doing the one outside of Hype Cave, and so that just made me think that I had remembered my initial statue wrong.
No.
Apparently they both
Two different
exist.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. There's two of them.
No, okay, wraps can't give you super bunny. If they could, they would be really easy to get super bunny in the dark world.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Nature
right.
glitch is pretty free, so
Yeah, that would. Yeah, never mind.
It's I had to think about the one that gets you to Stumpy that you used to get link state off of, and if you wouldn't need Stumpy for it if that was the case. Would be nice though.
Right.
All right.
And-
So, any thoughts on, first of all, kind of your future with glitch tournaments or just with Rando in general? What do you want to continue playing HMG? You want to do some no logic? Kind of curious what you plan to do after getting knocked out of this one.
I don't know if I'm that interested in no logic. It seems like a lot of memorizing what Samaria transitions to do where, and I have enough trouble memorizing some of the clip setups. So like doing glitch rando is very seasonal for me. Like when a tournament rolls around, I'll get back into it. But like off season, I'll forget how to do most of the clips and like the setups and all the stuff I used to do. But HMG is really cool, and it's actually kind of because like I had learned AD RMG before, like 4 years ago or so, before doing any glitched rando really, and when overworld glitches was a thing, This is the mode that I kind of wanted overworld glitches to be. So
Agree. Do you know that we do a monthly All Dungeons RMG race now?
I did not.
Yeah, we host it on. I'll post a link to the server that we do it on into the tournament server so that people who are interested can join us. Because there's a lot of AD RMG runners, as you can probably imagine, in this tournament.
Yeah, so it's been fun to watch and commentate those. Different runners do different routes, so it's really interesting to see and compare in real time.
In the last one, we had 4 runners on restream, and I think 4 different routes.
Yeah, it's true. And you can't predict who's going to win, even the people on the fastest route, because it's such a volatile category. Anything can happen. So the races are always exciting to watch.
Yeah, the tournament for that was fun when that was on. It was unpredictable.
Yeah, I binge watched all of that when I got into the category. It was something I kind of am sad that I missed out on when it was happening. So yeah, any other thoughts on the seed or anything else before we cut it out?
No. Thanks for putting on this tournament. It was fun, even though I almost every seed I ran was a disaster.
Well, I mean, you made
Well,
it to
game
game
2,
3.
you had a good one.
Yeah, you made it to game 3 somehow. So don't you know?
Yeah, so like I did the very first Dota LG tournament, and I think I kind of randoed myself on that one. Like I don't think I lost because of glitch competency, but it was like I lost because of like rando dumbs. But and then the second one I got sick for, so it's like I kind of never made it past round 1 in any of them, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it'd be cool to see like I don't know if the next one would also be HMG or if like people are thinking of expanding into major glitches territory.
I think there's been some talk about no logic, which I know is probably not what you wanted to hear, but it might be another HMG or something, or it might be in multiple modes. We don't know yet. It's a long ways off. So if you want to have your voice heard, definitely go into that tournament server and suggest what you want to see next year in 2022.
Well, it's just like if people want to do no logic, it'd be cool to see that since it hasn't done before. So I don't want to keep people from that. But it's also like without like I enter a lot of tournaments. If I'm not doing them for this game, I'm doing them for other games. So it's like I never ended up having a reason to like learn no logic stuff. So it just never come up.
That'll be your chance. All right. Well, this has been a really, just in terms of your races, azder, they've been very, very entertaining to watch. Win or lose, just the routing and whatever, the routing has been very, very interesting, and the graphical corruptions that appear on the screen have been a bit surprising. Here and there, this video game it's full of entertainment.
I should clarify one thing, because like in my game 1, people thought I like YBA to the pyramid, and I didn't. That was me messing at GT clip and then getting a screen wrap and then realizing I was in like East Dark World and trying to figure out if I could do the pyramid check.
Yeah, I figured that's what that was. Yeah,
because like a YBA, there, like I assumed like people were. I don't know if people were thinking it was a blue YBA or a red-green one, but like a red-green one isn't something I would have done because I don't really know what I'm doing with those. So, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and Spleebie, good luck going forward. You've got some races ahead of you.
I've got Tam next.
You got a steep hill to
seed. So, just need some rando luck, I guess.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and thank you, Malmo, for joining me on commentary. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah. So that will be the last one of tonight. There will be a lot more tomorrow, and keep an eye on the schedule for the following rounds. And with that, we'll be out.
Thanks for watching.